Okay, so now that we did that, I'm going to delete this other way of making it, and we're going to uncomment our map object literal here and save that. And now we're going to talk about looping through this map and being able to access the key value pairs within a for loop, because we want to be able to loop through this data structure. Okay, so to loop through these, let's delete here, and we want to loop through each of these students. The for loop will look very similar to the array, just with a few changes. So with the array, it was for index comma value of, it was like for index comma value of the range of students, something like that. This is going to be sort of similar, except instead of an index here, we're going to have a key. So there's no index within these students now. It's just going to be key value pairs. So for each key, which is Joe, Amelia, and Frank, value, which is education, physics, art, within the range of students, we want to print these things out. So we can say fmt.println, we can say key, comma, value, comma, value. So I'm just passing 4 arguments in here: the key, the value as the value. So again, we're just taking each key and value from students, and we're going to print them. So the first key would be Joe. The first value is education, so we're going to print Joe, education. The second key, then it comes back to the top of the for loop, and it goes to the second key, which is Amelia, which is here. And the second value, which is physics, which is here, goes back to the top of the for loop. Frank, key, art, value, prints them. Let's see it. You can see that we're printing each key value pair. One other way to do this that I haven't shown yet is we talked about print and println, but we haven't talked about printf. So let's go ahead and, if it lets me, why is it not letting me move? There we go, printf. And what we're going to say here is, instead of this, let's go ahead and delete this stuff inside of here. And we want to change this to be something like this. So printf is a way to format what we want to print. So the first argument is a string. And for our case, keys and values, we would use %s every time we want to put a variable. If it were a digit, we would do %d, a pointer, %p. There's lots of different options there. There's only so many though, so there's not lots, but I don't know, just 7 or 8 you'd have to look up. But in our case, we're going to use %string, so we would say something like key %s, and that's our key value will go here in place of %s, and then we can say value %s, and this will be our second argument, which will be value, and then we have to pass it the key and value that we want to use here and here, the 2 arguments. So in our case, key, comma, value, like this. So this is a little nicer way to format it, I think, is we can format the string however we want, include the variables that we want, and then we feed key will be the first %s, value will be the second %s. So let's run this. Perfect. And you can see, and now it comes across in a whole line and it ends like this. I don't like that. So remember how in ln automatically added a new line and hit the enter key for us? Printf doesn't do that. So what we can do at the end of our string, we can do /n. And /n is saying, hey, create a new line here. Hit enter pretty much. So let's clear it, run it again. And now you can see it's much better. We get our key value, key value, key value. And this new line's inserted at the end of each, so it's like hitting enter. It's kind of println, but the manual way.